Welcome to Chad Hates Carbs. Today we're going to do a super quick microwave muffin using one of my son's debate cups. And we're going to try to figure out if this is going to work or not. So I haven't made one of these in a while, and never this recipe. So it says we need 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. So that's 1, 2. And then we need a teaspoon of flaxseed meal. This is flax chia blend. I don't have any flaxseed, plain flaxseed, so we're going to hope this works. 1 tablespoon of that. I'm actually out of chia, which is weird because I was pretty sure that I had a backup bag of chia, but I didn't. So 1 of those, and then we need a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. That going. 1/4 teaspoon and a little bit of sea salt. Of course I'm using plain salt because it's fine. And we need a pinch. Put that in there. There we go. And add 1/2 of the erythritol. So we need to get erythritol. Oops. Got the erythritol here. So it says we need 2 tablespoons, so we're going to do 1 tablespoon of erythritol in there right now. And then obviously we need to stir this guy up. Once they've kind of broken up the coconut flour tends to kind of clump a little bit, so you want to make sure you get that all, at least the big chunks, broken up. Okay, add the egg and coconut oil. I'm a little skeptical about just putting an egg directly in here without having it beaten up first, so I think I'm going to beat this egg just because I don't like the idea of there being a giant egg yolk in the middle of my muffin. Go ahead and beat that egg up. Can't stand that feeling in my fingers. Okay. Get that guy going. So we also need to get coconut oil. We need 2 tablespoons. And obviously, again, the temp right now here is about 75-ish degrees. Because it's getting to be fall, so we'll need to melt that. Let's go get our egg in there. Okay, like that. I got this. Can move this out of the way. So coconut oil, we need 2 tablespoons of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and melt it in this egg one. It's about 1. It's always fun trying to figure out exactly how you're going to do these recipes. You kind of walk through them a little bit in your head, and then just weird stuff starts happening. So it's always fun to see how it works out, especially since this is a one-take type of deal. Alright, so that's 2 tablespoons. So we're going to go ahead and melt this in the microwave. It normally doesn't need more than, I don't know, 10 or 15 seconds at most. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, put it in for 10 and see what we get. It's popping a little bit. Not melting as fast as I thought it would. Alright, that's 20 seconds. That's pretty good. Got a little bit of clumpy in there, but it's not bad. Okay, so we mix this now. We got that in there. Mix mix this all in. So when we mix this up, the idea here is we want to let it sit and thicken a little bit. That coconut flour has a tendency to kind of be fairly absorbent, so we want to make sure that we let it do its thing. It's funny because I think that this recipe said it only took like 2 minutes to make or something, but we're already well over that, obviously. Clock time and all that. Okay, so we're going to just slap that in there. And it's already thickening up quite a bit. It's already basically, I don't know if you can see, but it's like a wall of stuff. There's not a lot of runny at all. When I can do that, it's obviously not runny. Now it does say in here, add some water 1 teaspoon at a time if the batter is stiff. It should be easy to stir but not liquid. And right now there's no stirring. It's literally like cake. So I think I'm going to add a little tiny bit of water at a time. Let's go ahead and see if we can stir that up a little bit. And I don't know what they really mean by this. When it says, should be easy to stir but not liquid, it's not very specific, so I'm going to kind of assume that if it's still a little bit moist, that's good enough. And in retrospect, I should not have used a tall mug. I should have used a short mug because it's kind of hard to get this thing to stick together down all together. I mean, obviously I can end up with a bunch of dough at the top here, but that's not what you want. So, okay, we'll level the top with the back of a spoon, which I can't do, so I'm using this. Then it says, in a small bowl, combine the remaining erythritol and cinnamon. So we want to do erythritol and cinnamon. I guess I could have probably used that other one, but I'll use this. Erythritol and a half a tablespoon, which is what, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. Looks like I'm going to have to get some more cinnamon here in a second. It does say 1.5 tablespoon. Okay, so yeah. That's about half. Alright. Let's mix this up. I always loved cinnamon sugar toast when I was a kid. That was like one of my favorite things to eat. Of course, I just love bread in general, so low carb is hard for me. Alright. But it's easy knowing that I'm, not pre-diabetic anymore. Okay. Alright, so we want to place the cinnamon mixture in a heap in the center of the mug on top of the batter, then swirl just a couple of times with a spoon. Okay? So we will dump this. Obviously in the middle of the mug is going to just be, hey look, it's on the top, because there's not really a middle, because this thing, there's just so much of this. It's just literally all over the top of this. So that didn't really work out as described. Really curious what kind of mug they use. Anyway. So I'm going to just kind of mash this down in there because I can't swirl. So this is not a pretty thing. It's also dried out again. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more water. Yeah, so at this point, this is not a swirl anything. This is just a, hey look, cinnamon in a pile inside of this mug. So, anyway, hopefully it tastes good, because that's kind of the goal anyway. Anytime you're cooking in a mug, I don't imagine that, this should be something you should be expecting a lot of aesthetic from. Okay, microwave on high. Well, let's just smooth it, so I guess I'll smooth it again. Using this so it doesn't have poke holes in it, because that might do something weird when it cooks. Okay, 1.5 to 2 minutes. Stick it in for 90 seconds and we'll see where we're at. Anything else we gotta do? 1.5 to 2 minutes until set. So, okay, so we just got 90 seconds. So yeah, this type of thing I'm kind of excited about, as far as like, yeah, if I want something sweet, this isn't super complicated. We'll see how this works out, but I'm guessing that in the future, I would probably just not even worry about the swirl part. Just take the stuff from here and just mix it directly in, because I don't know that, well, for me personally, aesthetics, I don't care. I lived in Louisiana for a year and ate an awful lot of stuff that looked really scary and tasted delicious. So aesthetics in food don't excite me that much. So it's not a make or break for me. Obviously, some people prefer pretty looking food, and that's fine, but not necessarily my deal. So I am also interested, I'm kind of wondering if the fact that we used the flax chia, I think that, well, it would have an effect, because the chia is, it very much like has that kind of a gelatinous, kind of fills things up a little bit, so that will probably make a big difference as well in the final texture of this thing. We'll see how we are in terms of. That's 2 full minutes, and let's get this guy back in there. And that comes out clean, so should be good. And it's funny because like as it's sitting, it's starting to shrink. So it shrinks when it gets, I guess when it starts to cool down, maybe. And there we go. There it is. So, let's see what we got. Texture-wise, it's kind of gummy. It's kind of wet yet, but it's funny because it actually it actually has like kind of that marbled effect. It's kind of cool. Let's see what it tastes like without butter, which is the wrong way to eat a muffin. I'm going to cut this into a little bit smaller bite in case it's ridiculously hot, so I don't die. Tastes pretty good. It is still, kind of has that wet texture to it. And it's not very sweet. Yeah, I definitely think I think this could actually use more sweetener, because it's not very sweet at all. I probably would also add more salt, because I think the salt would help a little bit. The cinnamon's not overpowered, ironically, which I thought it was going to be crazy overpowering, and you really can't taste much of the coconut. There's a little hint of it, but it's not super coconutty, which is also kind of surprising with the combination of the coconut flour and the coconut oil. Definitely something worth doing, though. It's fairly fast, and if you want to, like, and obviously it's something you could change all kinds of ways. Matter of fact, I might try making some of this with some extra, like almond extract or something like that. Maybe even add some nuts to it, because I think that'd be kind of good. But anyway, looks like a kind of an easy thing to do, and I'd say it was a success, which is always fun. So until next time. Thanks for watching and have a good day.